Okay.
As far as the low, it should be.
That's okay. Some of them go and they'll have a video presentation here and look around and that's how you get that video presentation. Over here and all that stuff. And this way they get oh, I love Greg. You know, but I still think I wanted to go up I was over it. I was over in Gatlinburg. And Houston at the time. This has been 2 years. And I've always wanted to go and drive on over something. But it was well worth it. I mean,
We'll talk about more of that. Just don't fish that entire.
Well, you know why?
Oh, okay, all right.
Are we going to do these two? Just get them all up sure.
No.
Just, okay.
Just being realistic. That's not to say maybe I'm the exception.
One rise, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, thank you that we can come here today, and thank you for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us. And Lord, we just ask you to give us wisdom as we go through the meeting, and just watch over our city and its people. In Jesus' name, amen.
City Council meeting Monday, October 1st, 2018, comes to order. Roll call, please.
Mary Branson.
Here.
Jeff Hancock.
Present.
Jerry Walden.
Here.
Aaron Dickens.
Here.
Mark Coker.
Here.
Lynn Purdue.
Present.
Rex Peckham.
Here.
Any corrections or additions to the minutes from the former meeting?
I'd like to make a motion to set the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Coker.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckham.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0. President, over to you.
Thanks, Mayor. First, we're going to do ordinances, second reading, public hearing. The first will be 3788, amending the zoning for the habitat, and I'll turn it over to Dave for the rest of it.
Yes, as Mr. Kroger indicated, we have 5 public hearings tonight. And what I think maybe is the best thing to do is just go through each one. And if you have any evidence or testimony to present regarding the ordinance in question, come forward to the microphone, state your name and address, and provide the council with your comments or evidence. The first public hearing is on ordinance 3788, which is ordinance to amend property. It's a amend the zoning code. The ordinance is being requested by Habitat for Humanities. Does anybody here, and notices went out to all the surrounding property owners and was placed in the newspaper. So does anybody have any desire to present testimony regarding ordinance 3788? If so, please come forward now and provide the council with your testimony. Seeing no one, I will advise the clerk treasurer to indicate that that public hearing is closed. The second public hearing is on ordinance number 3790. It's an ordinance to rezone certain property owned by Valley View. Does anyone wish to present testimony regarding that rezoning? If so, please come forward now and provide your evidence to council. There appears to be no one wishing to speak to that rezoning, so I would advise the clerk treasurer to close the public hearing as to ordinance number 3790. The next is public hearing on ordinance number 3791. It's a rezoning that's filed by Mr. and Mrs. Wilson. I know Mr. Madison is here for the Wilsons. Anything you want to say, Mr. Madison, regarding this, since it is a public hearing for your clients?
I believe we're just making the zoning essentially match the longstanding use of a car dealership, car lot, so nothing further.
Does anybody else wish to present evidence or testimony regarding this rezoning? If not, I would indicate public hearing regarding ordinance number 3791 be closed. The next is public hearing on ordinance 3792. This is an ordinance vacating a plat. It's an east-west alley that's west of 26th Street in Newcastle, and it's adjacent to the Apostolic, let me get the correct name of the church. It's the Apostolic Church. Does anyone, the Apostolic Church, does anyone wish to speak to that matter? Is there someone here from the church? And these alleys are all near and a part of your, right next to your property, and you want to use those for church purposes, is that correct? Yes. And nobody uses these alleys for ingress and egress that you're aware of? Is there anybody that wishes to speak to this alley vacation ordinance? Seeing none, I would advise the clerk treasurer to close the public hearing on ordinance 3792. And the final public hearing is on ordinance number 3789. It's the 2019 budget of the City of Newcastle. Does anyone wish to present testimony regarding the 2019 budget of the City of Newcastle? Seeing no citizens coming forward, I would advise the clerk treasurer to close the public hearing on ordinance number 3789. That concludes the public hearings, Mr. President, and I turn the meeting back over to you.
Thank you, Dave. With the second reading and public hearing both done on ordinance 3788, I would like to move that we suspend the rules and pass on third reading. Do we need to do
We've got to
second?
pass second first.
Okay, let's go second reading on 3780. I make a motion.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Burnson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I move we suspend the rules and pass 3788 on third reading.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Burnson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
I'll go ahead and take a motion on 3788 to pass on third reading.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Burnson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Make a motion, second reading 3790.
Second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Burnson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye. I'll make a motion we
Motion carries 7-0.
we suspend the rules and pass 3790 on third reading.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Burnson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Make a motion that we pass third reading 3790.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Make a motion second reading 3791 to pass that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Make a motion to suspend the rules and pass 3791 on third reading.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Make a motion for 3791 to pass on third reading.
Second.
I thought we just did.
We did 3791. 3792.
This is
the third reading.
It's third for the third reading.
Third
So we got to vote one more.
Did I say wrong?
Pass it. No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, he did it
Second.
right.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0. Which one are we on now?
We're on
3792.
Yeah.
go ahead, Dick.
Make the motion that we set the second reading for 3792.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules for 3792.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Make a motion we pass 3792 on third reading.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Peckinpah.
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Next, we have second reading public hearing on 3789, which is the 2019 budget. Dave, you want to open that for us?
Oh, we already did that.
We already did that? We're good?
Did all four of them.
All right. Go ahead, Dick. Yes, go ahead.
Bring up some items after looking over the budget and looking over information I got this morning. I noticed that there's a new line item, community buildings, that was previously paid out of the Board of Works. Board of Works took a decrease of $73,000. This new line item is just over $300,000. I'd really like to see some money reappropriated out of that, and you guys can stop me when that's not possible, but I'd like to see additional $50,000 go into the parks under capital outlay. I would also like to see an additional $30,000 go to the sewer and capital outlay for some equipment. And then I also noticed is the figure for transportation, $483,309. Is that the accurate amount? Sorry, putting you on the spot.
No, but you can't do general fund funds to sewage plant.
Okay. Okay.
And there was $197,000 final payment for REC in that $300,000.
There's a how much?
$197,000. There's
Okay.
almost $200,000 of that $300,000 to make the final payment on REC for next year.
Okay. Then I guess I'll go back to the drawing board. Thanks.
Anybody else have any questions on the budget? Council?
I'll make a motion that we set the budget 3789.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any other questions or comments? call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Nay.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-1.
Next, we have the second reading, 3793 is the 2019 Department of Finance salary. Move that we accept that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Second reading, 3794 is the 2019 management salary. Move we accept that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Second reading, ordinance 3795, 2019 elected official salary. Move to accept that.
I'll second that. In regard, though, that council members are foregoing their salary increase. Second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock. Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Second reading, 3796, 2019 hourly salary. Move to accept that.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Second reading, ordinance 3797, the fire salary.
I move we accept 3797.
Second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
Second reading, ordinance 3798, the 2019 EMS salary.
I'll make a motion. We accept 3798.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
And second reading, 3799, the 2019 police salary.
I move we accept 3799.
I'll second it.
Made and seconded. Any questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hancock.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Glenn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Heckendahl.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
We do have a resolution tonight. It's 1001-218-1, granting tax abatement to Beacon Industries. We talked about this a little bit at the last meeting. Beacon was here and talked to us. Does council have any further discussion on this, questions on this?
How many years were we?
It was 3 years.
That's what I thought.
Yes. They are in the process, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, in the process of doing $50,000 worth of proposed project to that building. Fire, sprinkler system, things like that. A lot hasn't been done there right now. If you go there, it doesn't look like much has been done. This is something that we as a council need to be aware of, that we can pass this with the 3-year abatement. That's not the problem. The problem is we need to stay on top of these abatements and make sure they're abiding by what we've passed. And we do a good job of it, and we've done a good job of it, but this is probably one that we need to stay on top of every year. So
Lynn, haven't you already made a visit out there?
I did do an on-site visit out there, and if memory serves, I think at the last meeting, they said they had spent about $25,000 on the facility. I couldn't find anything that had been done. As far as I walked all the way around the building and looked in the windows, and I didn't really see any movement at all. But I think there's a time frame they have to do that, so maybe they just haven't.
What we have done, this is, there's a later on this you're unaware of. The building was cited in under its prior owner for violations of our local codes. The Beacon, I don't think they officially own the building yet. They're getting ready to acquire it. Appeared in court last Friday. They agreed to file a property improvement plan, which I presume is what this $50,000 is going for. And then that will be monitored by our building inspector's office to make sure they will have review and dates and milestone dates that the court will require of them. Now, that's really separate from what you all can do. Obviously, you have the right, if they don't hire the number of employees they say they're going to hire, if they don't do the things they're going to say they're going to do under the SB 1, you can revoke the abatement. This is a different kind of abatement. The statute, most of your abatements that you give are for John Doe's going to come in and he's going to build a building or expand a building in their business, and you give them an abatement for the new expansion. So you're not reducing the amount of tax income that the city receives. This is a new statute that is on vacant buildings that have been vacant for more than 1 year. And you are actually giving an abatement for the existing tax revenues. So indeed, if they're paying $5,000 a year of property tax, that will be abated. So that makes this a little different.
And on the tenure, we visit that, whatever, 2 to 3 years, see if they're applying, so this should be visited every year, make sure they're applying since it's a 3-year tax abatement.
And a little difference in the statute. The old statute had a maximum of 2 years for a vacant building exemption with 100% the first year and a reduced percentage the second year. The statute has been changed to give you discretion up to 10 years. So you can give, they have requested 3 years, 100% each year. And you have the discretion to do that. So that's another change in the state law. I presume all this was done because vacant buildings are, you want to fill them. And now they do have to have continuous ownership. The only risk you run would be if somebody came in, got the abatement, was there for 3 years, and then left. That's the risk. You would hope that they wouldn't put this kind of money, and I'm not speaking about Beacon, this would be generic. You would hope that that would never happen, but you have to be aware that that's...
You really run that risk with any abatement.
Any
Doesn't matter whether
abatement.
it's 3 years or 10 years.
That's right.
On the 10 years, typically, isn't that prorated? So at the end of the 10th year, they pay 100%.
That's a different...
This is different, as they're getting
It's different. That's the
100% for
traditional
3
abatement.
years, right, okay.
I'd like to move forward and make a motion for 1001218-1.
Got a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Mary Branson.
Aye.
Jeff Hank.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Karen Jenkins.
Aye.
Mark Hogarth.
Aye.
Lynn Purdue.
Aye.
Rex Petty.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0.
What we will try to do, if Kenny reminds me and helps me, as they meet their milestones under their property improvement plan, we'll try to update you all to keep you advised also.
That'd be great.
That concludes ordinances, resolutions tonight. I'll turn the floor to Council Lady Brewington.
Okay, I would like to know when somebody is going to get a hold of the railroad and get the tracks fixed there on Grand in front of the Armory.
We've already got hold of them. They fixed part of it, but they didn't fix all of it.
And somebody's going to go across there and get their car torn up. It looks awful.
And also, I noticed I drove by the Firestone factory and the tires are still sitting there.
They're still there, the semi's been ordered.
Do you have a date or anything? Are they going to be picked up before winter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just waiting for them to bring a semi, Mack semi to it.
Okay, that's all I have.
Just one, Your Honor. On Nixon Drive, and I don't know, this might be for you, Lee, or maybe Kenny Dale, but from west heading east on the south side, I don't know who owns that property. It might be Kenny Eaton. There's fields there. But the tree limbs and everything is growing, and if you meet a car, you have to stop, go right around in the other lane. There's two spots there that's really, some of the people...
We're already scheduled to clean that up.
Okay.
We were going to try to get it to it today, but we were short help.
You're a good man.
There was some confusion on that too. That's actually a right of way through there.
Is it?
Love's doesn't own that.
Okay. Well, some of the people mow and trim it, but there's two spots, so good enough. That's all, Your
We
Honor.
had it scheduled to do today, but we were short on help.
You're a good man. I drove by there Sunday and all that. If I drove by, I didn't drive by there today, I would have, but yeah, I appreciate it. That's all, Your Honor.
Said by 3:30.
Right there about 3:30 tomorrow.
I'll do that. Head into your place. That's all, Your Honor.
I want to compliment the skate competition that took place at Skate Park Saturday. Got to hook up with Lynn there for a few minutes. Also at Middletown, the traveling wall. If you had a chance to go see that, it was quite a display. Saturday, they reported that brought in 10,000 at that point, and Saturday they had 1,000 more by the time we left. Also want to thank Chief Boatwright for supporting Walden Night here at the band night golf outing. I don't know if you've ever tried to play night golf. I'm bad, but I'm real bad at night.
Yeah,
And I tell you what, my cheeks are still hurting. I laughed so hard Saturday night. It was a great cause, and I appreciate Chief helping us out. And he's really good at night because he doesn't look at the ball anyway. And that's all, Your Honor.
Just a reminder of permanent handicap signs at Race and Main Street. That's all I had.
I do have one thing tonight from the Henry County Visitors Bureau. I have a request from Nicole LaCrone, who is a member that we have appointed. Her term is up December 31st, and she's requesting to be reappointed for a 3-year term from January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2021. I'd like to make a motion for the board to approve Nicole again.
I'll second that motion.
Made and seconded. Any questions or comments?
What board was that in?
Visitors Bureau, Convention Bureau.
Roll call vote. Mrs. Hassan.
Mary Brinkton,
Aye.
Jeff Higgins.
Aye.
Jerry Walden.
Aye.
Aaron Dickens.
Aye.
Mark Hubbard.
Aye.
Linda Hubbard.
Aye.
Rex Heckenthal.
Aye.
Jed, I did.
Motion carries 7-0.
Then all I have is thanks, Lee, for some of the potholes you got last week. I know you got a lot more to go, but keep up the work until winter gets here. Thanks, appreciate it. That's all I got.
Just a little note on our EMS communications that we received a presentation on at last meeting. I attended the county council meeting where the same presentation was given, along with Mayor York, who also gave a presentation. The county is for this 100%. There's a little bit of an issue there with funding. Their LOIT money is fully committed this year and fully committed for 2019. Now, with that being said, they are completely for it. They're going to try and be creative, they put it, with some funding to try and get this off the ground, going as quickly as it can. But kudos to our administration. We have funding left in our LOIT fund that's not an issue for us. We can fund it, our part of it, and move forward. I think it's going to go. I just I just let you know that they're for it, but they're going to have to come up with some money somewhere for that.
Did I dream that we had some big private donors for that? I feel like I heard that at one of the meetings at some point. Okay. And so our part of the pot that we have to contribute is post-private contribution?
No, actually, the part of that's going to go towards towers, and part of that's going to go towards the radios. So it will go towards our radios, which the radios are going to be a larger expense than the towers.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
And just on another personal note here, the mayor gave some situations where this is needed. It is so needed. We had a situation outside my office this past week where there was a street brawl out in the middle of the street. So my staff go out the door after they heard the yelling. So my office lady calls 911 while the other guy in my office is trying to break the fight up. Well, and I don't know, Chief, how this works, but when we called 911, she got Delaware County. And we gave him the address where it was. He said, well, you're in Newcastle? And she said, yes. Well, I'm going to have to transfer you to Newcastle. I mean, the guy's getting beat with a tire iron. So if this can help that, then absolutely that's what needs to happen.
Part of that right now, because we're going through the same thing at our office. It's a phone company issue. Our issues with New Lisbon. And when we call, it goes to, instead of Wayne County, it goes to Delaware County.
Okay.
So
Well, hopefully that's
we've been
corrected.
running tests now for 3 weeks trying to get it straightened out. So.
I think the cell phones especially, that happens a lot everywhere, where, you know, if you...
So I don't know if you want to contact your carrier and see what the issue might be there. Or,
Well, that could be. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
In the moment, you don't care. You know?
In other words, you're saying it'd be quicker to run out your back door to the jail.
It would have me. Yeah, I could have gotten Rick a lot quicker than that. Yeah, that's all I got.
Was in that meeting,
I saw him leave. Yeah.
and his wife called him on his cell phone, and he went
Yeah.
and worked it, and came back.
Yeah. Anyway, it's very much needed, and we've got support from both entities, the county and the city. So that's all I got, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Nothing today.
Thank you. Chief? You there? Mike? Dan? Dave? Counselor? Chris?
And surely all these ordinance and resolutions out, if don't take time.
We will.
Anything else? Ken? Doug? Ed? Jerry? Lee? Is there anyone from the public wanting to come before the council this evening?
Yeah, I do.
Okay?
My name's Gary Davis, and I live at 1836 Columbus Street. I had a little issue in the cemetery. I talked to you a little bit about it the other day, and it wasn't just a little grass, it was the whole side of it was just covered up with grass. I don't know if they're short of help, but I think people need to take more care of people's grave sites and stuff. But I went over and cut my dad's grave and stuff, grass, trimmed it up, and on the other side, my mom's side. And I just think people need to trim it a lot better, or try to keep the grass off of the stones there.
Okay.
And that's it right now.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other citizens wishing to come before council this evening?
And we will adjourn.
Second.
You can adjourn.